Hello. Today is Friday. I have been having a fantastic day all day, or at least I've been in a fantastic mood. I don't know why it is, but like I woke up in this mood. I've been feeling all morning. It's spread into the afternoon. Like nothing can bring me down. And it's cloudy out. So woke up, didn't go to the gym again, but we still have in our mind it's something that we're going to do. So I'm going to try to get up tomorrow and go to the gym again. Again, we're just trying to set the habit here. It's going to be tough to start the habit. And then as soon as we have the habit set, then we can make it more complex. So just like get there, stair climber, 30 minutes, get out, feel good about the day. I'm curious if there's something that I can do to reward myself immediately after I get to the gym. Like I wish there was like some sort of like smoothie or thing that I could just get and give myself. Just that I could look forward to the smoothie after the workout. Or there's something specific to that. I don't know what that would be. We shall have to think about that. In other news, today, 150 dials. So that was good. Only one book demo, but again, so that makes it, I think it's 7 total for the week. So not like last week's 11. And I know that the goal this week was to get 15, which was the same goal as last week. But you know, like it's one of those things. The success of sales calls and booking appointments will ebb and flow. Some weeks will be better than others. Some weeks will be worse than others. The thing to stick to is the process that I'm doing. As long as that is consistent, then I will achieve the desired result, which is success at some point. So then that's like the only, of course I can improve on my ability to convert, but I'm thinking there were plenty of people I talked to, like I would say predominantly a lot of the people I spoke to who either said like they had worked with us before or they weren't interested in this time. Like they weren't a financial advisor or an insurance provider. Like it was someone who, like I had conversations with people who wouldn't be getting the program to begin with. So it's not so much that I failed at convincing them or getting them to understand the value and how the problem that they have is the problem that we solve. But I spoke to a lot of people who did not have the problem that we solve. So then it's like one of those, okay, well, that's kind of that's where it's like you're not blaming the list going like, oh, the leads are the reason why I'm not selling. It's just going like, no, sometimes when you talk to 600 people, you don't get a lot of people who have the problem that you have to solve. Okay, like that's, and then but I need to keep my emotions detached from that outcome and make sure that I'm just like, I stay logical and go like, so long as I am in control of the conversation, I follow this process, I make the dials and I'm consistent, like then I'll get there. That's what, like all over the place. That is where I'm trying to get. That is the more effective way of thinking. Because again, still 7 book demos. And of a lot of those book demos, I think a lot of people actually showed up to them. So then still potential successes. So focus on that. Other thing is I spoke to the 3 other account executives that I came onto the team with, as well as one of the new junior account executives, and showed them the spreadsheet, phone tracker, call pickup, and demo book tracker thing that I was talking about yesterday that I was working on with the other junior account executive. And all 4 of them were on board, excited to track it. And they all like expressed the same sort of thing of going like, yeah, I've been thinking to myself, like, when is the best time to call? When should I be doing this? And then so I think what's useful, again, because I know that like the information is out there, but it doesn't have that same emotional attachment, emotional feel when it is somebody else's data rather than when it's personalized. Like it's like, hey, the company that I work for, the employees that are working for this company that I work for discovered this information. That information then becomes useful. Then so the idea, okay, another thought on that, because that was the other junior account executive, not the new one, but the one that I was working on it with yesterday and the day before, or like talking to it, like it was yesterday. He suggested today, he was going like, well, should we track the days of the week as well? And I thought, going like, yeah, that seems to make sense. My gut went, it seems a little too complex for the time being. And like he agreed. Like it was just like okay, let's start simple. Let's get some data, get some information so we can see, oh, it looks like the best time to call of the day are these hours or something like that. And then after that, we can figure out how to start tracking the days of the week, because I think the way that would work is I would have to collect the data at the end of each day from the various spreadsheets to one master one and put it into the Monday column, because I think that if there was a different section in one sheet where everyone had to remember to scroll to the Monday, would be like, it's an extra step of complexity, which isn't that complex, but when your focus is not making sure the spreadsheet is filled out, but calling the people and getting them to book a demo and then selling them on something, that's where your attention wants to be. So you want the tracking step to be as simple and thoughtless as possible, because then you will minimize errors. And then it is just going like, oh, this person connected. Okay, cool. What time zone? What time of day? Enter, done. Rather than what time zone, what time of day, what day is it? Okay, scroll, find this. Oh, the computer's slow. Like it opens the door to something that it would be preferable if that complexity was all done at once by one person at the collection point. Because there's only one spot where a mistake can occur, rather than however many people are doing it. As well as I created two separate ones, just because at the bottom, like what I was hoping was that Google Sheets would have an ability, an option to like, I'm going to share it with, well, what's the name I can make up? I'm going to share it with John. And John only can see the totals for both the connected and demos booked, as well as his two sheets, because then there's only 4 things to look at. And then we could have 18 people on this same sheet, but they only see 4 sheets, which are the ones that are relevant to them. But that wasn't an option. And then so instead of having like 50 sheets at the bottom that someone has to scroll through, it's better just to divide it up, and then you can compile the data, so long as they're formatted the same thing, into one master one at one point. That would be better. But so I'm excited to see that, and I'm curious what pattern emerges. But I also believe that, well, okay, so at this, I believe that once other people in the company or on the sales team see it, they also will want to participate, because it is a useful piece of information. So that's that. What the data says at this point, even though it's not very much, but it says that number 1, you can book a demo at any time of day. Number 2, someone can pick up at any time of day. And number 3, there are obvious times of day that are better than others, but at base value, at the bottom, at minimum, the belief that you can only book a demo between 4 and 5 or 1 and 2 is wrong. It's like, no, you can do it whenever. Okay, maybe between 2 and 3 and 3 and 4, not as many people are going to pick up. But then, like, that's what I was thinking yesterday. But then today, I had 3 connections, like 3 people who picked up the phone in their time between 3 and 4. So that's like, okay, well, what's happening now? So that's that. After this, I'm going to go grocery shopping. I feel like there was something that I wanted to talk about, but I can't think of right now. Oh, that's what it was, is because I was at the end of the day, I was talking with my manager, and then he was going like, because I was talking about how I've been failing to go to the gym each morning, and then he's like, we should make that a goal next week. And I'm going like, that's useful, because that is a person holding me accountable to things that I want to do for myself. There's a squirrel. Bro. I'm curious what it would be like running as a look at the weird bounce on this little path, because it's different than just the nature of walk. Because I know this is also a peat bog, so can you even run on that, or do you just sink into the water? Dude, I'm going on a walk with a squirrel. Oh no, it's gone. Okay. It's useful to have someone holding me. Wait, hold on. Are you in the tree? You are in the tree. Can I see it? I don't know if you can see it. It's useful to have another person holding you accountable to doing things that you want to do for yourself. Because interestingly enough, you're more likely to, I don't know like what that is. I remember hearing it, but I know that it also is true. You're willing to go further to do something good for somebody else than you are for yourself, which is interesting. That's why it's like a useful piece of advice to treat yourself like someone you're responsible for taking care of. Because, you know what I mean? But then so like, that is a useful thing, that it's going like, what am I actually trying to say here? I think that is a useful thing that I hope helps me develop the habit of going to the gym in the morning. Also, I'm wondering whether or not me actually going to bed on time, which I have been doing, and then sleeping more, which I have been doing, has helped contribute to the increased level of mood I feel right now. I feel more mood. No, but like that probably has something to begin with. So then again, it's one of those failing upward kind of ideas. Like it's like, okay, the goal was get to the gym every single day of this week. I failed at doing that. However, I did sleep in more and go to bed on time, which maybe actually is helping, and my body needed that bit of recovery to feel better. And if I continue to focus on the goal of getting to the gym in the morning and I fail upward for the time being by sleeping in more to regain that sleep I had lost back, but I stayed focused, at one point I will regain that sleep and then be able to wake up at the time I want to be and go do the activity that I want to do. So that's that. How many times did I say this video? Next item of business is I have to go to Walmart, buy a bunch of food. Oh, that was the thing that I wanted to talk about. It's like I paid today, so that's fun. But the weird part is I was paid more than I was expected, which I'm not complaining, but it just is one of those things of okay, well, like, I mean, it wasn't that much, like really that much more, but it just was, okay, so the first time I got paid for 3 weeks, so I took that number, divided by 3, then took my weekly rate, and then multiplied that by 2 to get my bi-weekly rate, and that number at the bi-weekly rate was less than the number I got today. And I planned on messaging the person who was in charge of payment today, but I didn't, and I'm recognizing that now. Recognizing? Is that a word? Recognizing? Recognizing. Recognizing? Recognizing. That's what it is. Next thing, I think. No, I forget. Gone. It's so sounds of nature. That's what it was. Is I don't feel a habitual or reflexive desire to drink tonight, which is nice, because then I'm not fighting an urge that I want to eliminate, but rather it is no, I'm just going to have my Thursday night tonight. So then I'm going to wake up Saturday feeling good. So then, and then once I think about it, that's when it starts to feel like ooh, I could though. But then again, if Friday night is productive and useful, then Saturday morning becomes productive and not groggy, which means Saturday night, I no longer, there's not that same guilt and wasted day. I'm useless. How do I get rid of this feeling? What if I just ingest more barbiturate? Or is it barbiturate or sedative? Whatever thing that makes anxiety go away because it increases the amount of GABA, which suppresses the excitatory postsynaptic potential, which increases the inhibitory postsynaptic potential, really meaning your neurons are less likely to fire. And so if anxiety is like everything's firing with a bit of alcohol in you, less stuff's firing, or stuff fires slowly, or maybe it just, the pain of the everything firing isn't felt as much. Like, because it's not that you're not aware of what you're doing. You are aware of what you're doing, and what you're doing is wrong even when you're doing a bad thing. You're just not as upset about it. Huh. With that said, I've got to beat these people because I can hear them in the woods and I don't want to walk behind them. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you on Monday. Oh, that was the thing. Is the last video that I uploaded, I rendered at 40 megabytes per second or whatever it was, and in 4K. And when I uploaded it to YouTube and put it into the 4K sort of thing, the text and the images looked crystal clear. In 1080p, there were still a bit of pixelation. However, the numbers with the cool graphics, like 42 or 11 or 12, weren't rough and fuzzy around the edges, which was nice because it's like, okay, cool. I have made progress towards solving the problem that was frustrating me. So that is all now. Okay, so I remembered outside the wild, I'll actually was on the drive, something that one of the things that I did want to talk about was that at the end of the day, I had like come to the end of the phone calls that I had assigned to me. However, when I looked at the leaderboard, I had made 137 phone calls, which was good. But the next person, the person who was ahead of me, had 143, and it's like, fuck. I just need 6 more calls. And I know I had been skipping some calls that had been assigned to me, that I had written a note that there was a gatekeeper, and our gatekeeper calls make me nervous and uncomfortable because I am afraid that they're going to remember me and then write my name down, and then I'm not going to be able to call them again for a while. Just, there's a lot of thoughts that come in, and I'm like, fuck. So then I had to call them. And it was just like the constant state of discomfort, hoping it went to voicemail. Some people answered and go like, hi, yep, is Mike in? Oh no, he's not. Okay, cool, whatever. And like had to get through that. But what was nice was then there was one person who, he was there. It wasn't the gatekeeper this time. And then the gatekeeper, like he went going like, oh, yep, this is. And then, so I went like, okay, into the thing going like, hey, this is a cold call, so you can hang up right now, or give me the 30 seconds I need to explain what we do and then decide. And then I went through the whole pitch, and it didn't turn into a demo, but what was nice was that I had some sort of positive reinforcement after going through that state of discomfort of going like, oh fuck, this is just So then the next time I encounter one of those gatekeeper notes, I don't want to call this phone number, call feelings, I then can think, remember that one time where it did work? So then at least there's something I can be chasing, which makes me ignore the uncomfortable thinking, or at least overlook it. Which also is another example of why having a leaderboard of the number of dials that are made helps work get done. Because I would not have done that work had I not known that someone else had made more dials than me. Because like 137, that's a pretty good day. But so in the end, I ended with 150 dials. That, now I'm done.